It's hard to believe it's been almost 25 years now since
Yeah,
you came up with FamTeam.
yeah,
We're going to talk about that. And actually, we're going to talk about three different categories that we came up with. We were texting earlier,
yeah,
and three different categories that we consider when we think about the word FamTeam, like
right,
different ways it's touched our family.
right.
And at the very end, we're going to come back and we're going to actually show you a look back at what our website looked like 25 years ago. First, I just wanted to ask, could you tell us a little bit about the history of FamTeam? Where did that
Sure.
come from?
The concept of family team was there before we came up with the name Fam Team. But it was just being a family, being a team. Have it doesn't hurt to have a lot of boys, and you guys love baseball, love softball. Then when the internet was born, we needed to have a name .com, and so we came up with Fam Team. I do remember that was at the very birth of the internet. Not many people had websites.
When we were talking earlier, we were just deciding how to break this up. And so we came up with three major categories. And the first one, I guess we'd title Working Together and Family
Yeah, yeah,
Businesses and the Home Church.
right,
And of course, you started the business in
yeah,
1989, the first of our family businesses.
right,
Can you tell me like what, or tell them too, what led up to that? Like what made
sure.
you, were you always kind of an entrepreneur at heart, or
Oh well.
did that happen at some point?
Well, they say necessity is the mother of invention, and I guess being an entrepreneur, I guess, would be inventing something because there's a need, and I felt a need to be with my family, especially when we wanted to welcome more than one child, and I thought to myself, wow. People who have no children and people who have a lot of children still only get 24 hours. So I was looking for a way to, have a home-based business where your incentive could allow you to make more money and give you flexibility of schedule so you could be with the kids, throw a ball in the backyard, things
Yeah.
like this, go on field trips, go on vacations.
And do you think that was one of the early keys that helped us be close? Is
I
just
think
the
so.
ability to have a flexible schedule and to do it so much from home?
Right, because we wanted to be there when you guys needed us. So if one of you needed to go to a pediatrician appointment, we just had one car for so many years that I could drive mom there. We could I could be there, or if one of you were to be sick or anything. In other words, if it was your birthday, we wanted to sort by need or sort by people rather than sort by schedule.
Another thing we've talked about a lot is the home church we've been able to do over the years, and
Yeah.
it seems like we have more of a. Sometimes people described it as more like a minute. Well, we do have a ministry, a non-for-profit ministry that we'll talk about later, but that it's different than just a regular church where like the same people are there for 50 years. Like
Right.
we tend to have people coming in and out, and maybe someone's in town for a while, maybe Scott Air Force Base or some other
Yeah.
place, and it's
Yeah.
like a revolving door of non-family members. And can you just tell a little bit about that, how it's
Yeah.
been?
Yeah, well, I think what's been unique about it is that in having a big family and trying to become results oriented with a business or with homeschooling or with the church, you wanted to get actual results, and one of the best ways that happens is with accountability and it's closely knit groups, but still drawing from everything you can learn out there, not isolating at all, but drawing. And so being a home-based church gives you flexibility because there aren't any like church politics, or you don't get lost in programs or budgets or programs where you kind of ironically divide up your family, sort like a change sorter. You put in the nickels here, the quarters there, the pennies there. So we were able to all kind of like the old country schoolhouses, that all the kids
Yeah.
of different grades would be in the same room, and they would kind of have the same experience. And but the older ones would interpret it differently than a younger one. But I think of it as something you guys contributed so much to the success of, because you made it fun. You guys gobbled up and soaked in everything we talked about, and we were talking about the world, life, political races, sports, everything from the time you guys were little on up. Our drives would be conversation pieces. So everything was education. Everything was ministry.
Of course, we've had many years of going to other churches, and we have so many like
Yeah.
people, business people, and just friends from all over the place.
Yeah.
So I think it's nice that we have some common thing that we can do every week to meet. Like Sundays has
Yeah.
become very big, especially Sunday evenings. It's like almost always you have like all the
Yeah.
in-laws and sisters-in-law and babies there and everything. So
Yeah.
it's a really great tradition.
Where it becomes churches like the early church in the Acts of the Apostles, where it's community and being together, living life together, rather than just in 1 hour experience.
Yeah.
So when the whole family is here, 3 generations on Sundays, it's hours long. In the evening, it goes on till the last person leaves late at night.
Going back to the 70s when you wrote books, of course, you always wanted to reach out to people through the media and things like that. We've done most of it remotely with the live streams and things like that, but it's nice to have something local. And that I don't think every single person needs to have a home church, but just for us, it's been a kind of a good home base, regardless of if people visit other churches, to be able to connect on Sundays and just to kind of something you can build your weeks around.
Yeah, because it's to me allows you to go the kind of like homeschooling or just life, or when we did sports, you care more for those who are you get that individual attention, like on a team. So many years of playing together softball, we would talk to each other and care enough to tell somebody about their swing. And same with approaching a brother about something needing to be strengthened in your life, or maybe getting prayer for yourself. And then you could just apply it to home churching, our business, the family team, just everything. You care more when it's something you're invested in, people you live with. The key is not to be isolated. There's a stereotype that homeschooling families or home churches can be kind of afraid of the world. And you guys are totally, where everybody's traveling all the time, embracing the world, loving people.
And there are I guess most stereotypes come from something. Like I've definitely seen examples of that where maybe loving families, but it might get kind of isolated if you're not careful.
Yeah.
And I think we were kind of had so many things with the businesses and the softball and things like that where we've met thousands of people. So I think it helped keep us in reality and connected to the community.
Yeah.
And in a way, it keeps you relevant in a way. Not that you're becoming like the world, but you can understand people from all walks of life.
Well, Jesus, we were just talking the other day, like there must have been something about Jesus during his earthly ministry that made people who weren't believers want to be with him, and for kids to want to be with him.
Yeah, that's right.
So there has to, without compromising the world, there was something that he radiated from him, love, a certain twinkle in his eye, just caring for people.
Okay, well, the second broad category I'd say is our family team.
Yeah.
So we, of course, have our props here. In fact, someone asked me recently in the comments why I always have a baseball with me.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I told her that, of course, I've always loved the game, just like you have. And being a pitcher, I've always enjoyed just like holding the seams and just thinking of different pitches. Like that's a curveball. This is a two-seam fastball, and just different things like that. But we have always loved the game, especially probably you and I more than anybody. I must have gotten the bug from you. And that led to having our own family team.
Yeah.
Which I guess began in 1999, was it? Our first year of men's ball?
Yeah, I think so.
And so that, of course, is, we talk about FamTeam. I mean, that's the ultimate example. We have an actual team made up of dad and all the guys. And now we have a ball field on the back of the property. Yeah. So it's been pretty fun to watch it.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic because I wanted to, as you know, in the late 70s, I went to a couple of tryouts trying to make the St. Louis Cardinals. It was just they didn't ask me to come. It was a walk-on. Anybody, my grandma could have gone. But they didn't, I had, I think, a number on, and I only spent a short time there before they sent me home.
They didn't know your name, just number, like the number 10. Yeah.
But the thing is, I always felt, kind of in my heart, I wanted to get into the major leagues, and I thought, I had the same essence of a desire. Hey, what if I would make the major leagues and be able to relate to kids who wouldn't want to go to a church, but they'd listen to an athlete who was following Jesus. And I didn't make the majors, but then with the whole family team, having all these sons, and then being able to play 20 plus years with you guys on the same family team, with FamTeam across our jerseys, you can't beat that. And to this day, I feel more comfortable with a bat in my hand.
And of course, when we started in 1999, we didn't have nearly enough of us to field a full ARN team. I think the first year we might have had 4 of us. I think Luke was the number 4, was the youngest in our team, and he was only in by an exception.
Yeah.
He was 13 at the time, and he had to be 14 to play in the men's league.
Yeah.
Which already is awfully young to be playing with a bunch of bruisers and sometimes former college or occasionally MLB players. Anyway, Luke got to join us at age 13 since he was a little larger than usual.
I had to call the office of the league and say, can you make an exception? I have this giant son. I said mutant, but
affectionately.
Mom doesn't like that.
Yeah, I think Luke, for a while, his shoe size was outpacing his age. I think he was wearing a size 15 at age 13 or 14.
Yeah, and then he leveled off. And
he did.
You guys caught up with him.
And he's our second tallest ARN and is a great lefty.
Yeah.
But yeah, the team has been so much fun, and also has been such a. I mean, of course, people do team building experiences for
Yeah,
jobs,
that's right.
and for us, it was for a while we were playing 4 nights a week, occasional
Yeah.
tournaments. It was almost like a major league schedule.
It was,
I
yeah.
calculated once a week. I think or I would play an average of at least 100 games a year.
Sure, yeah. You can play 10 in softball, but we had too many.
Yeah.
So we'd have to rotate. That was a sweet, we had all 13 sons and dad. So you had 14 players.
Yeah.
And you're only allowed to play 10 on, so that was almost like an abundance. In the very beginning, though, we would have to have you older guys, dad, and then other players.
Yeah, usually it would be cousins or uncles or an occasional neighborhood friend or something.
Yeah.
And I remember the night that we actually won our first game.
Yeah.
That was pretty exciting.
Go, Daddy! Go, Daddy! Go! Stop! Stop! Yeah! There you go!
And the crowd rejoices.
Yeah! Dan!
We don't have a perfect record anymore.
Okay.
We are 1-10. It's midnight and it's raining.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were 0-10 that year up to that point. I think that was 99.
Yeah.
We were 0-10, and I remember, I think even that night, it was a team, it was different. We were a lot different. We were coming as a family, as almost the love of Jesus, and this was like a typical name of a team, the Brew Crew. And
Yeah.
I remember somebody kind of teasing, probably affectionately, one of our guys, and kind of laughing and say, "Oh, little league." And
Yeah.
we wound up coming back and beating them. We scored 25 runs or something.
Yeah, it was amazing. I don't think we even had uniforms yet or anything.
Yeah.
And we were pretty green. A lot, we would pull uncles or people off the street sometimes that are like friends who maybe didn't even play that much.
Yeah.
And so it was so satisfying to finally win one that year.
I remember the time after the victory, it started raining. It was a night game, and Mark went kind of wild. He climbed a chain link fence.
I think it started raining right after
Yeah, the heavens
we
opened.
won, so it almost felt like a miracle or
Kind
something.
of like the end of a movie or something.
Yeah. Yeah, the softball team to me has been like one of the biggest things that's happened in our life. And for me, of course, I love baseball and softball so much too. So it might even affect me more than
Yeah.
everybody. But I think it means something to everybody else too. So many
Yeah.
memories. And we got so close from it, just working together as a team.
Yeah.
Even just getting to know who's better at what position and practicing
Yeah.
together. And plus, we just met so many people in the community.
Yeah.
Just, hundreds and hundreds of friends who many have become
Yeah.
lifelong friends who showed up at parties, or maybe we'd
Yeah.
film and photograph their wedding for our business, or
Yeah.
just all sorts of things like that. You're just like
Yeah.
lifelong pals.
And then it bled into doing the annual softball classic events where we would invite a St. Louis Cardinal player to come and play on the ART team against a media team, and then also to share his Christian faith, either verbally or just by getting to know people individually. Some would give a testimony verbally. Others would just kind of mingle and just love everybody. Money can't buy those kinds of things. In fact, the necessity is the mother of invention. Because we couldn't afford a lot of expensive things, we just would play ball. And, God just showed us ways to make it exciting,
Yeah. And of course, that's something kind of unique to us because we love that sport so much. For so many men in the family, such a big family.
Yeah.
But I would encourage anyone out there that this kind of thing is accessible to any size of family.
Oh, yeah.
It's just an example of how you can stay close.
Sure.
And I think of all these things as like keeping a really like a white hot center where everybody is close on
Yeah.
the most important things.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be obviously other
Personal.
things, personal things people do. Like even just
Preferences.
earlier, one of the guys was talking about a deposition in Tel Aviv, I think. I think someone might be going
next
over
week.
there next week.
Yeah.
It's just like last minute, someone's going over there to do some video jobs for an attorney or something.
Yeah.
And so it's I think all the more, like we often talk about, you need kind of a white hot center of things that you do,
Yeah.
or else you're just going to kind of get scattered to the winds,
Yeah, it's never too late to start, because probably the beauty of it is all roads can lead to something good with God. Like, for example, if you did it for years and years like we did, then you've got that memory, kind of the muscle memory of going back to that, being in love with the family more than you even realize,
Right.
like it's kind of like George Bailey trying to leave Bedford Falls. He just couldn't leave the family business. But secondly, if you don't have it, those folks appreciate it even more. Like it can start today. It can start. Hey, let's prioritize. Let's just make me write down what are the things I really value in life. Now I'm going to start making my decisions line up with. Okay, in my case, I would say, okay, putting God first, putting family for next, and then I'm just going to like make my decisions along that. And the fruit will, and plus those people will appreciate it even more. So it's kind of like Jesus said, the people who who really appreciated it. Paul the apostle got knocked off his horse. He appreciated Jesus in a sense more, it seems, than others.
Yeah. And the last thing I'd say about the softball question is that we're in a new era now with everybody getting married and having kids. And I think it was just perfect timing that we did the ball field, which we can actually see out the window there. That's, I guess, going on 2 years old now is when we created that.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of amazed that we got that done. It was such a busy time, but I think God just kind of led it, and it's another way for us to be in touch. If you just kind of picture all the family reunions we're going to have out there and all the grandkids, there's going to be so many. God willing. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
A lot more pink jerseys now. It used to be just Mom and Mary Elizabeth.
Yep, that's for sure. Yeah. The final category we came up with for today was, I guess you'd call it media projects or TV projects.
Yeah.
We've always felt, going back to before any of us, like me or my siblings existed, you always had kind of a calling toward media. You were or you still are a writer.
Yeah.
You wrote books in the 70s. And always felt hunger to kind of reach out and, in ministry, but then also as the family grew, just to kind of tell our story. And hopefully that's one of the goals here with this channel too, is just to hopefully inspire and entertain people and just help out other families.
Media seems to have been something put on my heart in the late 70s. And I was always amazed to think, I remember thinking in like 1976, I was going back to my car after a college class. And I was just thinking, media is really headlines or whatever a network person decides they are. So we can make this the headline. We can make God and family the headline. And now, that was before the internet. Now everybody gets a chance to say this. But back then you just had 3 networks. Yeah. So I feel so privileged to have the calling extended to the area of internet, because now you can basically just invite people right into your home, and really reaching out is just one person at a time.
Yeah.
And so media is really just getting the privilege of meeting more people, one person at a time.
Yeah. And of course, things kind of ramped up as there were more and more of us, because it went, boy after boy after boy until there were 10 boys only. And then there, were the stories about a baseball team, even before we had an actual team. Yeah. There were stories about like, okay, these are all the positions for each of us. Yeah. And I think we did a mailing one year with all the positions.
The annual Christmas mailing or a mailing. We kind of put all you guys in baseball outfits.
Yeah, and then as soon as Mary Elizabeth came, it kind of jumped to another level with the media attention. So I think God was leading that just to help, hopefully encourage a lot of other families.
Yeah, give you a platform.
Regardless of the size, but just since the culture has gone a little nutty and, going back, like probably all through my generation, going back even into your generation. So it's just great to see the family values coming back and just to be a part of it any way we can help encourage. Off camera, we were talking about that one of the secrets is to have, for any family, is to have the we instead of the I. Yeah. And it's kind of a cliche, I guess, but it's very true. Like if you're used to thinking outside of yourself and as a group, I think it's just generally very healthy to think that way.
Well, really one of the biggest things is even self-preservation is if you could donate like 98% of your thoughts and toward God and others, you have a smaller, in a way, window to be tormented or tempted or by all sorts of things, or mental just worry, anxiety, because you're so busy visiting other people in their worlds. That's what I wanted to raise the family in a like Christian should be like being a Christian should be like a verb. It should be like a flow of river, not just like a passive, like don't do that, don't do that, don't do that, because that just leaves a neutral zone for kids, And so in our media, I just wanted our shows to be vibrant and embracing the people out there and just have God's life flowing through them.
Well, we wanted to show you guys a quick clip of our original website. This goes back about 24 years, I think.
Yeah.
The earliest I saw was 2001. That's the earliest capture that I saw available.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting seeing it.
Yeah.
I guess you remember that pencil drawing that
Yeah.
our friend from our church we went to did.
Yeah, he did a good job of it, and
That's the old house, of course.
yeah, that's the old homestead, and yeah, we had lived there basically the first 24, 25 years of our marriage and family life, and then we came out here to the promised land out here in the country.
Yeah. Yeah, and that website just looks so
Yeah.
it's so heartwarming, but so
Yeah.
seems so primitive now.
Yeah.
Just with what you can do now online and
Yeah.
phones and everything, and that was way before smartphones.
Yeah.
But it just I would just kind of brought a tear to multiple tears to my eyes
know.
earlier when I was looking at that.
Yeah.
And there were many versions of the site along the way.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool to be on YouTube now and just to
Yeah.
connect so easily with so many people.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
it's so easy now to
Yeah.
just kind of organize our community and be friends with all of you
Yeah.
and talk to you in the comments, and it's just really
Sure.
cool.
It's great, and I just think back to how consistent the theme is, even when it was an old website and kind of like very primitive. It was the same essence, same DNA. I could just see.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it had little departments I'd almost forgotten about.
Right.
One was called Our Prayer for You, and so we used to for a while have like a FamTeam Today feature. That was later, I think. We'd have a photo of the day and things like this.
Yeah, and one thing that I was going to mention, that one thing that really surprised me, if you would have interviewed me in 2000 compared to now, I mean, I don't think we were very much different, but I think if anything, I'd be surprised by how much the FamTeam concept
Yeah.
has expanded to so many things. Because I probably would have predicted like, oh yeah, this is great for now, and I'm sure we'll always be close, but I'll probably get a house and go live,
Yeah.
15 or 20 minutes away. Who knows what jobs and where
Yeah.
everybody's going to be. And it's just pretty cool to see how, like we've, God willing, a lot of us, so far, everybody is living very close by.
Yeah.
And we have properties right next to us and even neighbors who are going to sell to us
Yeah.
and things like that. So it's just amazing to be seeing that. I never would have pictured we'd have a ball field like that, for instance.
Right.
And be this close, even though we're having our own households now, too.
And,
So-
and the guys travel a lot for the work, and even the guys who live the farthest, who lives maybe half an hour away, are just. In fact, we took a drive today.
Yeah.
That he and I
right before this filming.
Yeah, and just drive before the film because he was just missing Dad and he wanted to connect, and and they're over here, on Sundays, and we're messaging. So I think the key is it's in our case that God made it possible to be geographically close. But even if you guys lived on the other side of the world, or like next week when somebody's going to go to Israel to cover that job for our business, I don't know which one, we'll be messaging back and forth, and it'll be as if that person's in the next room. Life is made up of a lot of little moments. Even us talking about this is just a moment that's special to me, and we just happen to turn on the camera to bring you into it.
We just made a video identifying every member of the family. So if
Yeah.
you don't have us all memorized yet, check that out next.